To the TCO, I am the Corrupted Otaku. I'm here to bring you a preview of The Legend of the Legendary Heroes. Alright, so basically we're going to follow a character. His name is Ryner. And he's with a female lead character. Her name is Ferris. And they're basically on a journey to actually locate things known as the hero's artifacts. Now, there are tons of characters within this anime, and watching the first 13 episodes as well, quite frankly, that's mind-boggling to attempt to remember all of them. But I just wrote down ones, took notes of ones that I thought were ultimately important to some degree or level. So yeah, Ryner's a quiet person. He's not really shy. He likes to he's definitely likes to sleep. He likes to nap. He's relatively lazy, that type of thing. What I really did enjoy about this is the first episode kind of introduces us to the two main characters, Ryner and Ferris. And then the second, I think about the next 3 episodes are basically going back to the past of exactly how those characters got to where they are. And what I like about it is, they didn't do it like in the middle of a battle like some anime, Bleach, that does it, when they do flashbacks right in the middle of a battle. They actually finished the episode, so it actually made sense. It was nice logic and chronological order going there. In the 13 episodes, I really didn't notice a whole lot of fillers, be it an entire filler episode or just small little segments inside the episodes with themselves. But yes, Ryner and Ferris are on their journey, and they're ultimately given orders from Sion, which is the king, also their friend. These guys have somewhat grew up, with the exception of Ferris, as a child. So they all are somewhat relatively known with each other. Sion is the new king. He was basically the son of a king, but he was nothing more than a commoner. So you could almost look at it as probably he was a bastard of the king, nothing more than a commoner. And his ultimate goal is actually to take the throne, to become the king, and to actually, in essence, rule without actually having to go to war. But he's ultimately finding that that's not as easy as he thought it would be. We're also introduced to a variety of characters, that their underlining tone within themselves, and how they react to the king, and how the king reacts to them, just in certain ways does make you question whether or not Sion will be successful in keeping his throne, because there is someone more powerful behind him, basically claiming that, if he feels that Sion can't do the job, he will eliminate him and find someone else that can. And this guy does happen to be a noble. But getting back onto the subject, so yes, Ryner and Ferris, they're all on their journey. And that's pretty much the focus of it. It kind of goes back and forth. You're following the two main characters as they journey down to find these hero relics. And then we constantly are introduced back to the concept of the war and the struggle with the king, and how he's struggling to actually rule this kingdom. And I really like this concept. I like the animation. It's definitely somewhat of a, I don't want to say gory, but you definitely get some outrageous blood splatters, people holding heads. They're definitely not afraid to kill children. And when I say children, we're talking little children in this anime. And some other characters is Milk. Apparently she is a old childhood friend of Ryner. Definitely she's older, she has a crush on him, and apparently when they were younger, they made the vow that they would marry each other. Obviously she remembers, he doesn't, so she's ultimately on the pursuit of that. Besides the fact that Ryner's actually wandering around with Ferris, the relationship between them two, I don't really see it going anywhere in the sense of falling in love, like she could be part of a triple triangle, because yes, there is another female who happens to be Kiefer. And again, it's a childhood female friend that Ryner knew. She's actually working on the bad side, quote unquote. And yeah, shit hits the fan. She ends up going back. Definitely, they show that she definitely loves Ryner, has a crush on him, whatever the case may be. So, as of right now, there's pretty much like a 2-love triangle going on, even though Ryner doesn't really show any kind of affection toward the other females. So it does kind of somewhat make me wonder, if he's going to fall for Ferris, the one that he's wandering around with, or if he does have some kind of emotional tie and he's just denying it to Kiefer. But that's pretty much summing this up. You know, a little bit of spoilers here and there, but hopefully you'll forgive me on that one. And yeah, that pretty much sums it up within itself. You know, where we got war, we got these things called hero relics. I'm only in episode 13. There's a total of like 24, so it's a relatively small series. Apparently, they did create a sequel. It's got a completely different name. I don't remember it at this moment in time, but yes, this is definitely so far looking like something that I would definitely buy on DVD or Blu-ray, and I would definitely recommend you checking it out. It's pretty good. What I also like is it definitely has this fantasy setting. I'm real big on the fantasy type stories, and this just isn't like in a fantasy setting in that sense of like, you know, Naruto or Bleach, like literally fantasy, but more or less, you know, like medieval type realm type fantasy. That's what I'm referring to. So yes, I hope you enjoyed this quick preview of The Legend of the Legendary Hero, and I will see you next time on the TCO.